The A330 was Airbus's first long-range aircraft and the first program that had an integrated final assembly facility, the final assembly line, the paint shop and cabin furnishing being all in the same place. Having taken its first flight in 1992, the A330 as a family offers a high level of operational synergy with the A320 and also a common type rating with the A350, offering Airbus operators a good deal of flexibility if they choose to operate multiple Airbus aircraft types. There are many variants of the A330 that have been developed. Some have done better than others, with aircraft like the A330-200 Freighter and A330-800 doing much worse than their closest non-Airbus rivals. Nonetheless, we take a look at all of these A330 family members in today's video. As Airbus explains on its website, the A330 family was conceived as a product to replace the A300, the world's first wide-body twin-engined airliner. The type was built on the strengths of the single-aisle A320 to create a bigger and truly modern long-range aircraft. The first variant was the A330-300, which offered 56 more seats than its A300 predecessor. It also incorporated fly-by-wire technology, had a 6-screen glass cockpit, and came with a choice of 3 engine types from General Electric, Pratt & Whitney, and Rolls-Royce. The A330-300, when it entered service in 1994, had a maximum takeoff weight of 212 tons and a range of around 4,000 nautical miles. The variant would later be improved and have an increased MTOW and increased range. Its key figures, as listed on Airbus's website, are as follows. Max seating, 440 seats. Typical 3-class seating, 250 to 290 seats. Range, 6,345 nautical miles. Max takeoff weight, 242 tons. All in all, 776 A330-300s would be delivered to customers around the world, making it the most popular variant to date across all generations. Does the A330-900 have any chance of beating this? We're not quite sure. A smaller version, the A330-200, entered service in 1998. Since the fuel capacity of the -200 is identical to the -300, the smaller aircraft is able to fly further, designed to handle longer missions, albeit with fewer passengers. Ultimately, 658 -200 airframes would be delivered to customers before Airbus ended this program and made the switch to its far less popular successor, the -800. Its key figures are as follows. Max seating, 406 seats. Typical seating, 210 to 250 seats. Range, 7,250 nautical miles. Max takeoff weight, 242 tons. Now, we were going to tell you that the -200's MTOW was 251 tons based on this Airbus webpage, but it seemed a little odd that the -200's max takeoff weight would be higher than the -300's. That same Airbus webpage for the -200 stated a range of 8,150 nautical miles, but we chose to use a figure from a more recent Airbus document. Ultimately, it appears that someone at Airbus entered some of the -800's figures for the -200 webpage. But moving on, prior to Airbus making the switch to the Neo or new engine option A330 variants, further A330 family improvements were introduced between 2000 and 2003. Airbus notes that the flight deck benefited from backlit LCD screens, replacing the original cathode ray tube displays. Additionally, updated cabins featured larger volume overhead bins, improved lighting, and better air and light controls for passengers. Newer A330s, prior to the Neos, also received system upgrades and even more robust structures. Airbus also offered a private/VIP variant of the A330-200. Interestingly, it was initially branded as the A330-200 Prestige, although it was later badged the ACJ330. ACJ stands for Airbus Corporate Jets. Airbus never offered an ACJ variant based on the A330-300. Planespotters.net data shows 4 active ACJ330s, including jets flying for the Turkish government and government of Kazakhstan. There are a few more A330 variants from this first CO generation, which stands for Current Engine Option. None of these are for commercial passenger operations. There's the A330-200F, a mid-size freighter with up to 70 tons of payload with a range of 4,100 nautical miles. Even though it marketed itself as offering up to 35% lower operating costs per ton compared to larger freighters, the aircraft was never all that popular compared to offerings from Boeing. Sized between the 767-300F and 777F, this purpose-built Airbus freighter only saw 38 airframes ordered and delivered. As an Airliners.net contributor explained, the jet's size and performance put it in a niche category. It is, or was, rather heavy to be used on short-haul flights, but lacks the range and payload to fly the long-haul flights efficiently. Most of these aircraft still remain active today. And then, from the older generation of A330s, there are the variants that have been converted from passenger airframes to freighters, the A330-200 P2F and A330-300 P2F. The -200 P2F offers up to 61 tons of payload with a range up to 4,200 nautical miles. The -300 P2F also offers up to 61 tons of payload, but obviously with a higher volume. Its maximum published range is 3,700 nautical miles. Egypt Air Cargo, Turkmenistan Airlines and Air China Cargo are among the firms operating the -200 P2F, while DHL through Air Hong Kong operates quite a few -300 P2Fs. Most American aviation enthusiasts will also know that Amazon Prime Air has a fleet of 10 -300 P2Fs, all technically operated by Hawaiian Airlines. The final variant from the first generation of A330s is the MRTT. A military version, this aircraft is based on the -200 platform, but is modified to sport an aerial refueling boom and an under-wing hose and drogue system. The interior cabin is meant to be adaptable to each country's military's needs, whether it be medevac, VIP transport or troop transport. The A330 MRTT offered by Airbus is set to be replaced by the A330 MRTT Plus, an aircraft performing the same role but based on the A330-800. The jet is still under development, so we don't have too many more details or visuals just yet. However, this gives us a smooth transition to Airbus's newer A330 family members, the A330-800 and -900. Branded as A330neos, the jets have a single engine option in the form of the Rolls-Royce Trent 7000. It's a huge change from the multiple engine options made available on the first generation of A330s. Besides new, more efficient engines, the A330neos sport a new wing with increased wingspan and state-of-the-art aerodynamics, as well as a new full composite winglet. Inside, the A330neos have new systems, including newer technology A350 cockpit functionalities on board. Since the -800 is a direct replacement of the -200, it sports a similar capacity, with 406 seats, or 220 to 260 seats in a more typical configuration. With an MTOW of 251 tons, it has a range of 8,150 nautical miles. It's one of the most unpopular Airbus passenger aircraft ever offered. At the time of making this video, just 12 have been ordered and 7 delivered. The A330neo is based on the -800 and sadly seems to be equally unpopular. The A330-900 fares a little better, as to date it has seen 362 airframes ordered and around 144 delivered. The jet, similarly sized to the -300, has a maximum passenger capacity of 460. It features a maximum takeoff weight of 251 tons and a range of 7,200 nautical miles. While the A330neo does not feature as much composite material in its airframe as the A350 or rival 787, its key selling point is commonality with other Airbus products. Indeed, Airbus highlights that it requires just half a day of self-training to go from A330 to A330neo. It's only 7 days of training from A330 to A320, and only 8 days of training from A330 to A350, thanks to a common type rating. And so, hopefully, this gives you a solid idea of all the A330 family variants developed to date. While it's unfortunate that the Neo variants aren't as popular as the original -200s and -300s, Airbus certainly spent a lot less developing the jets. What do you think of the A330 family? Let us know by leaving a comment. Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.